Welcome to Force for Growth Live. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Courtney. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. And it's hump day. We're going to get right to it. So, hashtag hump over your hurdle. Bernie points if you can find a way to use that today, but how can you conquer? Just get it out of the way. What's your biggest thing staring you in the eye? What's the thing you're putting off? What's the thing you're scared of? We challenge you to charge after it, but get it done, get it out of the way. So, you have what it takes. Trust us.
Boom.
What are we talking about today, Ricardo?
Man, we're going to dive deep into the dark side.
Yay. You can tell
So,
we're personal development people whenever you get excited about a juicy topic.
this is as juicy as it gets. This is as juicy as it gets. It's not going to get any juicier than this. And I'm not really sure where we're going to go with it, but we're going to explore and see what comes up. All right. So, let me start by saying that I used to have a problem expressing and going and pulling out my dark side. But then because I ended up finding this book, Relentless by Tim Grover, that was the book that really helped me realize that it's okay to go to the dark side, that it's okay to go into that area, into that field, that it's okay to feel that way. Right. And I used to be like, what is wrong with me? Why do I crave this? Why do I want to do that? Why do I have this like part of me that's I really shouldn't be thinking this way? And I'll share some of those thoughts here shortly. But after reading Tim Grover's Relentless, I realized that it was okay. So let's dive into it. So think about the dark side being the difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman. Bruce Wayne is the good guy, the face, always trim and proper, and Batman lives on the edge. Batman does what needs to be done to get the job done. There's no limits to what he's capable of doing in order to do what he believes is right. It's unstoppable. It's unstoppable. It's refusing to be like everyone else. Batman is his own individual. He's not Superman. He's not Aquaman. He's not the Flash. He's Batman. And he's not scared to express that side of him. So think about, and I'm talking to you, Courtney. Think about something that you crave but don't talk about.
Okay.
Okay. You don't have to say it. And I'm talking to everyone else who's listening. Think about that one thing that you crave, but you don't really talk about and you don't really say it out loud. That's your dark side. That little part of you that you think that you shouldn't be thinking this, that you shouldn't be feeling that, and that you want to suppress it and pull it down, that's your dark side. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to express that. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to allow that to drive you. The dark side is that hold my beer mentality. Oh, yeah, they can do it. Yeah, watch this. Watch this. They're going to go down and I'm going to squish them like a cockroach because that's where they need to be because they don't know who they're messing with. They don't know. And here's the thing, you don't even have to say that out loud. You just think it in your head and that's all you need to do. You don't even have the trash talk and all of this is saying it out loud. That's weakness. You don't have to tell people that it's your dark side. You show them. So it's that killer instinct inside of you that fuels you and dominates. Why? Because you can. Because you want to prove not to anyone else, but just to prove to yourself how great you are. It's that driving force that just takes you over the edge and makes you do what you need to do in order to get the job done. No fear of failing. You own it and taking the risk that others won't take. That's your dark side.
Boom.
That's your dark side.
Yes, love that. Yeah, and I love how synchronicity happens. So Ryan said, Ricardo, that's a chapter of the Relentless book you referred that he's been having the toughest time to read right now. So thank
Yes.
you for your vulnerability, Ryan, and honesty.
It
Yeah, so you you had me name it. You had me name her, and I am gonna keep that one to myself just because that's my little power tool, but
Yes, and you know what? Here's the thing. It's okay to keep it to yourself. You don't express that dark side, but you also don't let it control you. You don't let it control you. You control your dark side. It doesn't overtake you. You do the things that you want to do because you want to do them, not because you have to do them.
mhm. And you pronged me with questions like, how has she been there to, keep in mind, this is my alter ego, this is my dark side. I've named her. So I'm starting to, as you dive deep in analyzing it, it also is an opportunity to own what you want to own, change what you need to change. So I just fully embrace this. So it is your superhero living inside you, but a disciplined superhero. It can't be running amok doing things, that fall on the dark side all the time. It can't be having those thoughts and living that kind of life 100% of the time.
Good point.
But
Let me tell you this. It's not about taking stupid risks because that's weakness. You take stupid risks because you can't control yourself from taking that stupid risk. The dark side is that part of you that controls that. The dark side is that part of you that says, "No, I don't need to do that because that doesn't make sense."
bingo.
It's
And
it's not letting all these external things control you. It's saying, "Throw the kitchen sink at me and watch what I can do.
because you
You're not gonna mess with me, you're not gonna rattle me, you're not gonna shake me."
Yeah. I like seeing you fired up. Yes. So Jesse said, like Yoda, he isn't scared of the dark side. He just doesn't allow the dark side to control him. So, I mean, this is huge. This is running your entire life, whether you want it or not. And okay, so that's my first thing is name it. Like name her, name him. Figure out someone you can step into, but also give them credit for where they have been there and fought for you and stood up for you. And without that alter ego, would you have made it through that situation? Probably
Mm-mm,
not. I don't
mm-mm.
know. I don't know if you ever would have found your fighting gloves. But now that's a skill in your box that you have that you can pull out and that situation no longer intimidates you. Okay, so it's just building and building and building upon building. But yeah, I do want to point out that the pendulum to your success swings accordingly to how deep you're willing to go and look at your dark side.
Yes, I agree. And not suppress it, that's the big thing. We're taught to not do this, not do that, be like this, be like that from a very young age. We're not taught by what we are capable of doing. We're taught and told what we can't do. Don't touch the stove. Don't jump here. Don't jump there. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. But we want to have that little, like, you know what? I'm going to show you. Yeah, you think you're messing with me? Nah, you have no idea what's coming, buddy.
Mhm.
And again, this isn't trash talk. I want to make sure that we understand the difference. This is not trash talk. This is your internal dialogue, and your trash talk is the result that you create. It's not going up into someone's face and saying, "I'm going to squash you like a cockroach." No, that's not your dark side. That's weakness. The dark side is squashing them like a cockroach and letting
Mhm.
them see it. That's the dark side. You don't say anything. You don't have to trash talk. You don't have to get in people's face. You don't have to get piped up. You just do it. You produce the result, and whatever happens, happens.
Mhm.
It's not
Yep.
trash talk. I'm not trash talking. I'm just telling you guys how I think, and I'm telling you guys that, man, I used to deal with it because I thought that I was wrong. I thought that there was something wrong with me. I thought that I was broken until I found the Relentless book by Tim Grover.
Mhm.
And everything that he said was like, that's how I feel. That's how I think. Oh my gosh, I'm not messed up. It's okay to feel like this. It's okay to sit here and think, I'm going to crush them. They have no idea what's coming to them. And it was a thought, it was a feeling, it was that gut instinct of like, I'm fixing to dominate this, and they have no idea what they just got themselves into.
Mhm. It has weight. It has like just this big bold presence, whereas if it's out of insecurity, if it's out of this, if it's a very, I mean, just insecurity is loud. You don't need to talk and tell. Just stop telling people what you're going to do. Stop telling people your goals. Just go out and do it. So I challenge you to keep it more inside so you can really have those conversations with yourself, light or dark. Fuse these two sides of your personality that absolutely exist. We live in a dualistic world, light, dark, right, wrong. We can keep going forever on the dualistic meanings that we as humans apply to the world. So when you learn to use that, it changes everything. And so that's just kind of where I want to see more people have moments like you're talking about when you picked up Relentless. I want to see people look themselves in the eye and be like, "Oh, I should trust myself. I am enough. I am lovable. I am, fill in the blank, all these different things that it just stop letting this run your life. Stop it. But it's absolutely a power tool that you can pull out.
But we're conditioned to do that. We're conditioned to be kind, to be positive, to be loving. Even in the self-development world, we're pushed and conditioned to be that way. And by saying you have to be kind, you have to be loving, you have to be respectful, you have to be all these things, by default, that's saying all those instinctive feelings that you feel are wrong. They're wrong. Because if I'm supposed to be kind and loving, why do I want to dominate and conquer? It's contradicting.
Yeah. That's a
It's
good point.
contradicting.
And that's a good, I'd say that's probably what separates a lot of the good mentors in the personal development world is the people who are willing to separate that. But yeah, if you can't look at that and
Correct.
do something with it.
And you suppress it. By default, we start to suppress it because we're like, well, I'm in the self development world. I'm supposed to be positive. I'm supposed to be loving. I'm supposed to feel gratitude and all of these great emotions. I'm not saying that they're not a great, I'm just saying this is a different part of it.
Hmm.
But it's like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to feel that way. I'm not supposed to feel that way. I'm supposed to create harmony and this and that. No, you don't have to express it. You don't have to say it to people. You don't have to be rude or a jackass about it. However, you can let it drive you. You can let it drive you. You can let it push you to that other side of your goal.
Hmm.
Let me give you a great example. So for basket delivery, I go deep into my dark side. And yes, this is a great event. It's for charity, it's this, but man, it's always like, how far can I push this and watch me dominate this space? Watch me dominate and conquer this space. I love my other basket brothers and sisters with the basket brigades all across the country, but there's always a little part of me that says, okay, that was great. You did great. Watch this. Watch this. That's a great example. Another example is when I start pushing the goal and then I start see other people pushing for the same goal and doing the same thing. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. You think you got me? Again, this is my internal dialogue. I'm not saying this to the person. I'm not even saying this out loud. I'm letting you guys know what my internal dialogue in my head is. It's you have no idea. You have no idea what I'm capable of doing if I hit the pedal. You have no idea that I'm going to conquer this and show you exactly how it's done. None. Zip. Watch this.
Yeah. Man, okay. I just like I can keep watching you. Anyway, funny thing, yeah, pay attention to the comments, Ricardo. I love that. Jesse finds fired up Ricardo very attractive. So, men, if you are not getting fired up and channeling your dark side, your women might appreciate it. So, anyway, just throw that out there. But yeah, and then Ryan came back with a great comment that said that dark side is like an undercover agent trying to protect me. At least that's how the chapter in Relentless has helped me personal perspective. And yeah, and that's how when we did when I named my alter ego, that's kind of the work is really looking at how this entity has just fueled and defended. And I mean, but the thing is, she knows before I know. Like her senses are heightened to be protective and defensive before I even know. And so, yeah, there's some like paying attention so you aren't living in this defensive victimhood, fearful driven world. But there's also like, it's like a sixth sense. If you get quiet and really see that you have these two sides and give credit to where it's done great things for you in your life, you can see how you can then design your life with it. Utilize this. You know that when somebody says something like, okay, if I tell Ricardo, hey, you can't do that, I don't think you have
Oh,
it in you. Like,
whoa.
I
Ooh.
just lit on fire a part of his personality, and it doesn't matter if it's something. I mean, I don't know, I'm joke about something only a woman can do, like, he will find a way, like, but that's it, and so it's like, do you know where your power buttons are, where you can hit that and be like, "Oh, yeah, like, it's done, period.
But
I know I just
but
started, but no
so
chance."
that's a great example, Courtney. But here's the thing: the dark side is you saying something, you taunting me, you challenging me, and me just looking at you and being like, okay. While the dialogue is running in my head.
Mhm.
It's not like, yes, I over exaggerated when you said it for effect, but the dark side is you say it and it's just okay.
And that's confidence because he's practiced this, because he's just swimmed around in this area of his personality. But you have to, I'm sorry. I so
Now,
many thoughts. Yeah.
in private, that's where it happens. In private, when I'm by myself, it's like, oh yeah, she said that. Oh, okay, let's go, let's go. She has no idea what she just got herself into. I'm fixing to show her,
Yeah.
and that's in private. But in public, it's all right, cool, good for you. I might even congratulate people, be like, good for you, that's great. But deep inside, it's like, all right, let's see. Let me challenge myself and see what I'm capable of doing and how I compare.
Oh, thank you for my comparison. I wanted to bring that up because notice none of what you're talking about and illustrating for us is an actual comparison factor. Like, yeah, that's the basis of the on the surface, but literally it's just Ricardo challenging himself in that his meaning he gave something that someone said to him. So this is all your interpretation. But the
Oh
point
yeah,
is, if your dark side lights up and it's like, bows up and it's like, okay, I'm here. You get your, bat costume on in your brain, pay attention to that. But
yeah.
absolutely, if it's in comparison because you want to prove to this person you're better than them, stop, back up, reanalyze.
That's a great point, Courtney, because it's not about anybody else. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do about anybody else.
Yeah.
It's being unapologetically you. The keyword here is unapologetically. Oh, I'm sorry that I dominated this. I'm sorry that I blew this out the water. No, no. It's just what I do. I'm not going to apologize for doing what I do best. I'm not going to apologize for stepping up to the challenge and doing it better than you did. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm just not. Why would I?
It's weakness.
However you feel about what I did, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. I just pushed myself to the greatness that I know that I'm capable of pushing myself to. That's all I did for me. How you feel about that, it's all about you. It's none of my business. And I don't even really care. Why? Because if you come and beat that, wait, I'm going to come and do it again.
Mhm. Yep.
So Ryan said something really interesting here. He said, I was raised others first, help others. So anytime I wanted something as I was getting older, I equated that to I'm wrong or wanting this. And that's it. He hits the nail on the spot right there because everything that you crave, and I'm using the word crave, success, money, material things, whatever it is that you truly deeply crave on the inside, you're not wrong for wanting it. You're not wrong for wanting it. That's your instinct. That's your instinct kicking in saying, I really want this, but I should really focus on ending world hunger. You can have both.
And if you ignore it, it morphs into things that don't manifest good things in your life. like addictions or, etc., extremes, but just don't ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, the addictions is a big part of it because it sounds like a very addictive part. It's like the dark side is that addiction. No, man, you got that wrong. The dark side is
The source as to why are you running from your own mind.
the dark side. Yes, it's that, but when it comes to like vices and things like that, the dark side is I drink because I want to, not because I have to. I'm still great whether I drink or not. I control it. It doesn't control me. That's the dark side.
Yeah, good distinction.
And if I ever feel like I'm out of control with it, that's just another challenge. I won't do that for a year just to prove to myself that I control it and it doesn't control me.
Hmm.
Nothing controls me. I control me. Nothing out here controls me. I control me. And if there's something that I feel that it's getting out of hand that I can't control, oh, that's a challenge. That's a conquest. That's something to overcome. That's something to be like to prove to myself, like, okay, yeah, this might be getting out of hand, but you know what? Let me kick it into overdrive and conquer this and do this. That's
Hmm.
the dark side.
Yeah. And things are, I mean, problems are a lot more solvable than you think. But allow your Batman in. Like, Batman knows. Okay.
Batman
Like,
knows.
Courtney, she's a sweet little thing. Like, she whatever, probably in the corner smiling. But my alter ego, like, that chick knows what's up, and she handles it. Like, it's done. It's done. And I've been focusing a lot on trusting myself. That's a lesson you're helping me with. Many things are just falling into place for me to see the next level of my growth there. And I thought it was worthiness that was like at the core. And it's just a lot of things are pointing to trust. So, what am I
Ooh.
practicing right now? Trust in action, trust in motion, trust in result, trust in, but I'm trusting myself to get off my butt and do it. So, but I'm laying into that because I'm strengthening that muscle. But the cravings from the dark side are what pointed the arrows saying, "Hey, it's over there, over there." That's the next thing you need to kind of clear up and discover and dive deeper in.
So here's the thing with trust, the dark side doesn't doubt, the dark side doesn't live in fear. The dark side is 125% certainty. Why? Because even if maybe it doesn't work out exactly the way that you planned, you know that you can still even turn that around, and that's another challenge.
Mhm.
Even if you totally mess it up because you went for it, because you pushed yourself, the dark side is that part of you that says, yeah, I screwed it up, but watch this. I can fix it too.
Mhm.
So that's where this whole not trusting yourself, there's no space for that. Because even if you mess it up, you are your own cleaner.
Mhm.
You clean it up on your own.
And the phrase that keeps coming to mind is the one that Tony says in the priming exercise, but no problem is permanent. Only your soul is permanent.
Correct.
So this is exact same energies.
You clean up your own mess. So if you know for a fact that you're capable of not just cleaning up your own mess, but taking that mess into a greater level, to a greater level, to greater success, to greater achievement, to greater numbers, there's no room for you not to trust yourself. There's no room for fear.
Mhm. Oh, and
None.
you okay, so the last note I do have that I do wanna make sure to share. So, we misunderstand the feedback as a trap, and it's not whichever side of your personality you're familiar in, you're practicing in, it's not meant to trap you. So, if at all you feel trapped, you're not quite looking at it the way you should yet. So I just mean like you are stuck here or stuck here, run at the fear. It's gonna be completely opposite what your instincts are telling you because your instincts are like safe, safe, safe. But also you have this dark side that's an instinct too. And it needs success and abundance and wants to help the world, wants to contribute and wants to, all these deeper things, but it'll channel you in different ways. So nobody can tell you how that will be in your life. But like if you feel trapped, charge at that. Look at that. Sit with that. And I would also say that holds the key as to the next lesson you need to learn, because nothing is meant to trap you in this life. Lessons are meant to be learned and go. That's it.
Yeah, man, this was a deep episode, Courtney.
This was.
To learn more, to read more, to understand your dark side more, the best book that's out there on this is Relentless by Tim Grover. That's just the book. That's the source. So everything that I talked on here and more, this book is it. This is the key. This is the key. And it's going to be uncomfortable. If you've suppressed all this down for so long, it's going to be uncomfortable. Relentless by Tim Grover will open that up and make you feel like free. Freedom. That's what I felt when I read this book. Freedom. That, oh, you know what? I don't have to suppress this anymore. You know what? I don't have to hide this anymore. It's okay for me to feel this way. Do I have to show it to the world? No, because it's all internal. Because I control it, it doesn't control me. Boom.
Love
And
that.
that's it.
Boom. Ah, yeah.
It's so
Just
free. It's so there's so much freedom involved when you don't suppress that instinctive part of you down. When you start to
yeah.
suppress it and thinking that it has to be lollipops and rainbows, but it's okay for that little bit of naughtiness, that dark side, that haha, hold my beer, just wait and see.
You
I'm
know,
gonna show you. It's okay.
what if you lived your life for the next week? And I'm saying week because I don't want to intimidate your little brain who's like, please don't tell me to do something for the rest of my life. So, what if you just 24 hours live like you are exactly how you're meant to be? Not like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Oh, I shouldn't have this instinct. I shouldn't just play in the realm of you are exactly who you were meant to be and who the world needs.
Mm,
But act from that and stop there. Don't analyze, don't keep changing in this. Just give it a day or a week, whichever your choice. But as if nothing, it's all perfect by design. And that'll take time and space away from all that BS that we do and we just dwell on, who said we should have feel a certain way? You've said it a lot in this podcast, you're like, oh, we should feel that. No. So I think that's the key is you're exactly who you're meant to be, but you got to start believing it. So
yeah.
deep breath, just give it day by day. Okay. Just live your day today like it's done. So
And here's the big thing. If all this living your best life and living through your dark side is controlling you, you're not in control. You're letting your dark side control you. That's where you need to step up to that challenge and say, no, I got this. I control it. It doesn't control me.
yeah.
That's the key. Nothing controls you. You control everything
Hmm.
because you can. And even if you mess it up, you can clean it up and take it to even a higher level.
That's that
Ah,
vulture. The vulture. If you saw our astrology in action episode, the vulture is our spirit animal of the week. Anyway, that's kind of what
boom.
the vulture symbolizes. So
Listen to you. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And we'll be back on Friday. Explore that dark side.
Yes. Take
Have a
care.
great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.